1 second there, guys. I'm gonna get started. All right. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So this is what we're working on this morning. SX XTX. So this is what we have on tap for today. It's this nice Transformers piece. This is one of two. This is Blaster that we're going to work on today. We need to get him all set up and done so that way he is ready to rock. So that's my goal for this morning, to get him ready for ink and all that fun stuff. All right, so I'm going. The goal is to have this be like a Street Fighter-ish kind of setup, where we're gonna have. So we'll have him going against who is it? Soundwave. That's the goal. So we started this up yesterday, and then we're gonna go ahead and crush it today. So handy dandy set of tools. I'm going to go to work. So this is one of many projects that we're going to be doing. I did want to let everybody know as you're coming in that I will be working on the stream train. I'm sorry, the raid train next week. So basically, what the raid train is every Thursday, Tink Graphics is hosting something called the raid train, and what we do is that we have a series of artists that start at 11 o'clock and they go all the way through midnight. So every hour, there's a new artist that will pop up, and he or her will then present their stuff to us, and then they'll show what they do, and this gives an opportunity for you, the viewer, to be able to see some of the opportunities that are out there for you. You know, it doesn't matter the art, doesn't matter what they're selling. We've got people that do 3D printing. We have people that do illustrative work like myself. We have people that do woodwork. We even have a gentleman, his name is Custom Cuts. He does work with where he cuts comics, which is kind of neat. So we have a lot of different things. But me specifically, I'm strictly on the illustrative side of things. So that's where you'll see me doing my stuff. So I just need to get this image of Blaster, and then I can go ahead and go to work. Okay, so we're looking for Blaster from TV or from Transformers. So we'll get him going, and then we have another character from TMNT that we're doing. We're actually doing a series of, I think it's 9 books total. And I guess got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of them. But I can show you what those books look like really quickly here. Are all these the blanks? I gotta post these. Okay, I think there's, yeah, okay, so there's some of the stuff in here I can show you. All right, there they are. All right, so in here are some of the pieces that we've done. So that's Bebop. We did a Krang. And then we have a Rocksteady that we need to wrap up. We just have to put the remaining grays onto this one. And then we knocked out this. This just needs to get color. So this is World War Hulk, and he's got his axe. This actually wraps around to the back of the comic. Same thing with this guy. Got Miles Morales. This also wraps around to the back as well. So you get some really cool stuff. What's up, John? Good morning. Yeah, I'm just showing off some of the stuff that I'm doing. And right now, until the foreseeable future, when you buy a piece of artwork, you're going to get a sketch card to go with it. It'll be a black and white sketch card. You'll get to choose a category, and then I will randomly send you a character. So I think it's a cool little deal. It's like a purchase and a sketch. All right, I think I have the one I want to use for Blaster. So let's get started. All right. Oh, oops. Almost messed up. Used the wrong width or the wrong pen. Thank you so much. Did you see all of the covers by any chance? Because I know you just popped in, John. I can also show you some of the other stuff that we've had a chance to do. Okay, so you saw the Spider-Man? Here, let me show you the others real fast. So there's the Krang. Huh? There is the Rocksteady. Now don't worry, I'm going to show you actually more because I just realized I have some more in the collection here. This is the World War Hulk. And this one wraps around just like the Spider-Man does. It goes all the way to the back. What's going on, Georgie? And then, of course, you saw the Spider-Man one as well. But just wait. I'm going to show you the other fun stuff. Oh, almost forgot this one. And you got the Bebop. You can't have Rocksteady without Bebop. So there he is. So there's that. And I don't do just black and white. I do color as well. So let's give you guys an example of that. Every piece of artwork, unless you decide that you don't want the color, will all come in color. So here's this is a promo piece I did for the launch of Deadpool and Wolverine when it came out. You can actually see it's a 2024 book that I did. This one's still in my stock. It hasn't gone anywhere. Then one of my first pieces that I had a chance to do here on Whatnot, this is my Magneto. So this one's up there. Yeah, I charge. And then if you are a big fan of Fantastic Four, there is a Thing. A black and white version of the one and only Doctor Doom. And to wrap it up, I had another Deadpool and Wolverine piece. I always saw them like as a buddy thing, like they were always like hanging out with each other. So that's why I did this kind of series. And I think it came out really good. I love drawing Deadpool. He's fun, but I can literally draw any character that, that's out there. In fact, let me see if I can pull this up here. What I'm working on, and that I haven't had a chance to promote a lot because we've been very busy with commissions. I'm doing a series called the Road to 1000. So it's 1,000 cards, 1,000 sketch cards I'm doing. 10 different categories. And within those 10 different categories is 100 cards. So I've already wrapped up the Marvel one. Now I'm going on to DC. I have Image, I have video games, all these kind of things. And that's where you guys come into play. So if you order a piece, you're going to get one of those cards. It'll go to the collection. The only difference is instead of it being in color, it's just going to be a black and white, but it'll go ahead and get another card off of my list. So it kind of works out, on two fronts. Let me show you this piece that just got dropped that we did last week. Where are you? I I got it in here. I just got to find it. That is a bad rendition of that picture. All right. Well, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that is a Wolverine. You know, it's a Wolverine with Ghost Rider powers. So that's some cool stuff that we got going on right now. I think it's pretty good. I can't complain. So, all of my stuff is on my page. So I can do like full size sheets from 8.5 to 11 to 9 by 12 to 11 by 17, and then I do covers. There's two options for covers, and one I have to do on here, and then the other one you guys do it as a tip. So if you send me the book that you want me to do the work on, it'll save you $5. So it's $75 for the book to get colored and drawn up and everything. If I needed to get the book, it's $75. So there's only $5 difference. And I have a ton of books. I have Invincible, I have Deadpool books, I have a Venom book, um, some Spawn books, all that kind of good stuff. So you pick the character, I'll go ahead and knock it down. What's going on, Spark? Is this my one? Yeah. Oh, that's my two. I need my one. Yeah, I definitely look forward to it. I mean, the queue is kind of uh, slowing down a little bit. So we were at 18 books at one point, and now we were able to get it down to like I think 5 or 6. What's up, Richie? But yeah, definitely hang in here. I'm about 95% sure tomorrow we're going to be doing a free comic book day stream. It just depends on when I can get myself back here from free comic book day. But free comic book day might I typically would be at a shop doing it where I illustrate and all that kind of good stuff. So I will be doing discounted work on that day. Yeah, unfortunately, this year was the one year since COVID that I haven't been able to draw at a shop. Not that I don't want to; it's just that space is limited, and a lot of the shops that I want to go to, the problem is that they either they just don't have the room, or because of parking situations, we weren't able to make it work. That's what happened with one of my shops. Yeah, definitely just keep an eye on the stream. It's just fun to watch. I mean, even if you're not picking up anything, a lot of my streams, just so you know, in my streams, I do. Um, it's more of like an educational kind of stream, so I try to help out people that don't know how to do what I do, or that want to get into illustration or get into graphic design. I try to educate as I'm going along. So my stream's a little different. I mean, people get stuff that's cool. Usually on Fridays, it's kind of like my quietest day. So I'm glad I'm getting into new people. That's always a plus. But definitely jump on here on Thursday. Bookmark that stream. Right now, it's got me and Kay, Minder Inc. But in addition to her being on there, we're gonna do the raid as well. So I'll be raiding into other people. My goal is hopefully get somebody to raid into me prior, and then that way we can kind of keep the train rolling. The whole idea behind the raid is just exposure for not only the artists, but also for the people that you know that know us and help networking. Okay. This is looking much better. So now that we're able to kind of see how he's coming together, the old one that I had, because this is the second time I've done this one. Um, the first one I had, I did not like, so I had to redo it. And this is a two book piece, so these are connecting books. So it'll be Blaster on one book and Soundwave on the other. When I originally did the mock-up for it, um, Soundwave was actually supposed to be on this side, doing the punch in right here, and then Blaster was supposed to be on the other side. The only problem with Soundwave, and the reason I couldn't do that, is that Soundwave has this cannon over here on his upper right hand corner, and when you try to show that, it doesn't work. As far as like perspective, it would be literally right in front of where his face is. Even though Soundwave has a mask on his face, it just doesn't work for the design. So that had to get fixed. So sometimes you gotta come back and fix some stuff. I know the first one I did, it was kind of like a rushed job. I did not like it, so I really pushed hard um, to let that one go. The concept was cool, really cool. The execution was poor. And one thing that you'll get out of me when I do stuff, I don't do bad quality stuff. I really want you to get something good. If I wouldn't want to put it up on my wall, I'm not going to give it to you. I don't think that's fair. So does that mean sometimes I have to redo stuff? Absolutely. And unfortunately, this gentleman had to wait a little while to get this. I mean, a long while, I should say. This has been about a year in the making. And it's not due to him. I mean, it's due to myself. What happened was I had the book, um, and I told him, "Hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and take it home, knock it out." But I misplaced his information, so I didn't know who it belonged to. So that caused a whole lot of stuff. And then with with me being like super busy, that delayed it getting to the comic book store because I don't go to the comic book store that often. I usually have stuff shipped to me because of my tight schedule, and since all the places are usually pretty far away from me or not on my way to work, so all my stuff gets shipped. I barely even have time to get stuff shipped my out to the post office, but I do that because I have to get that stuff out there. I'm not saying that what this gentleman had is not a have to get done. No, that definitely is the case. So that's why I figured I'll give him something better than what he asked for because he's owed that. So I take care of people. What's going on, Aunt? So Aunt, I apologize. I Because I was working so much yesterday, I did not get a chance to send out your package, but it's in my car along with a couple other packages, and all that stuff gets to go after I get done with the stream. So it is packed up. It's ready to rock. So I'm thinking it'll probably be there Monday or Tuesday for you, as long as the post office acts right. So that'll be cool. And you'll get your stuff, and hopefully you'll like it. Is your DC collection? I think it is. Let me just double check. Are you talking about just the prints themselves? Yeah, because if you want the DC prints, they're in there, but print wise, this is what you're going to get. So that way you can see what's up. Because I don't know if it shows it in that thing, that listing. I'm literally going through all my listings so I can put up every print that I have over the weekend. But let me show you what you get. Where's the DC ones? So you'll get one like that. You'll get that dude. Sorry, my thing is acting all weird. There we go. Right there. So you're gonna get that Joker. Um, let's see who else do you get. You will get that Batman right there. And let's see what else do you get. You get a Harley as well. I don't have her listed up on there, but it looks like a playing card. Oh, sorry. Let me just fix my camera real quick here. I'm so sorry. Give me just a second because I'm having a hard time being able to see what's going on here. Let me fix this because this is crazy. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we're back. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you're gonna get this. So like you'll get that guy right there. You're gonna get this one right here. And then there's a Harley Quinn that you're also going to get with that collection. And I think he's not on here, but there's also a Flash that you'll get with it too. He's like a cartoon version of Flash. I can actually show you that when I have that here. Where are you? Because he's on my Instagram. But just to give you a heads up, they are 11 by 17 prints, so they're pretty big. Where are you? And you guys are making me have to want to go back and fix all my collections because everything's like scattered, and I don't like that. Okay, here it is. This is the one. So you'll also get that Flash right there. That's him. He looks pretty awesome. He kind of reminds me of like a weird cartoon one. So I love it. It and all of them are very beautiful. They're I believe the Flash is the only one that's a matte print. All the others are going to be like a high gloss print. But yeah, if you want that set, it is listed on there. It's in the shop, and I think the price for that is like $25 for that collection. And remember, when you do the collection, you're gonna get a sketch card. So just to give you a heads up, the sketch card will be something like this. So it'll be like that, but yours will be in black and white. You'll choose from one of the categories that I have, and then I'll go ahead and send you a random card. Yes, I'm actually going to give you four. I'll hook you up. All right. So would it be too much to ask with your character? Yeah, Nathan, just send me a message on there on whatnot, and I'll talk to you about that. Yeah, you're going to get a free sketch card with it. Until I decided I don't want to do them anymore, you're going to get a little free sketch card. It's a random one, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be specific. The only time that you get to choose is when you purchase it. But you'll get one character out of the remaining 9 categories that I have available. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool deal. Yeah, yeah. I just want to give you guys a little something. Until I decide I want to go ahead and do probably like some stickers or whatnot. I think the cards are cool, and plus it's going to help me get through my goal of finishing the 1,000 cards. If you want to see some of the cards that I have available, or see what the actual cards look like, I'll show you the ones that I have here in just a second. Because I have Pokemon ones that are available. I have my remaining marble sets that are done, or my remaining marble characters that I have in the collection. But again, you're gonna get a card regardless. Yeah, this is not working. I'm gonna have to go to my two. Yeah, unfortunately, all the marble ones are taken. Yeah, those are only available for purchase. So I apologize. I have DC available. I have an anime one that's available. We have okay. So you want to do DC? Okay. I have Image, just so you know, because I want you to know all of them. So we have DC. We have Image. We have video games, anime, Transformers, wrestlers, movies, cartoons, and I think that might be all of them. But if DC is your game, I will go ahead and make that work. Yeah, I'll let you guys know about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to pull off this free comic book day thing. I have to go to my shop tomorrow. Number one, I want to try to get this to the person that it belongs to. This was actually ordered a year ago. Yes, don't flame me for a year ago. But what's going to end up happening is he's going to get something really dope. I mean, you buy one and you're actually, because of my delay, you're going to actually get two. So I think it kind of works out. And he gets an apology from me for the fact that it's taken so long. Okay, perfect. So I can go. I'll get that all set up for you today, and I can get that shipped out with my other stuff that I have going. Thank you again for picking that up. Batman's a good area because that's where the collection started. So that's actually might work out for you. What's up, Chef? Yeah, for all of you that are just coming in, um, don't forget next Thursday. Please bookmark this show. There's two parts to the show. Number one, we're gonna have Mind Your Ink with Kay on there next week. So she'll be on as my co-host, or I actually might end up going on to her show. We'll see which one we do. She might jump onto mine because she usually is like getting her stuff going a little later than I do. Um, but she'll be on with me, and and then we're going to be doing the raid next week. So the raid is going to be going on for those of you that are not familiar with it. Um, Tink Graphics has decided to share some of her knowledge, some of her network with us, and help some of the other artists, that either are kind of like struggling or just actually just need to network with other artists, and other potential clients. And she is doing a raid where it starts off with one person at 11 o'clock in the morning. And this is Eastern time, just so everybody knows. It's not Pacific or anything, like Eastern time. Um, it's going to start off at 11 o'clock, and every hour switches to a new artist. So they raid into another person's stream. So mine will be from 11 o'clock in the morning all the way until 12 o'clock. And if you need details about that, just make sure you just jump on my stream and I will give that information to you. Yeah, I mean, yesterday was pretty cool because I got to see a lot of people do some fun stuff. Um, it's just they're promoting things like we had a couple people, that were illustrators. We had another person that was doing cutting on a cover. We had a person that did 3D printing. Trying to think of who else. Lots of illustrators though, and really good ones. Some people had some like promotional cards and all that kind of good stuff. They're running auctions and stuff like that. So definitely jump on it. It's a fun little event. So sorry, I am like in concentration mode right now. Yeah, dealing with perspective on a transformer, you just gotta be really careful because it's very easy to flub this up. So this is supposed to be like two Transformers, like regular Transformers covers, but I've misplaced my other Transformers cover, but that's fine. I have it. It's here. I just think it's in my son's room somewhere. So I got to go get that back. Hey, Kay, good morning. Yeah, that's going to be next Thursday. No, I mean, look, you can get this stuff right. Um, it's taken me a long time to be able to do this. So my backstory to this Transformer deal goes all the way back to when I used to read the Transformers books. And yes, they used to have like Transformers books, not comics. I'm talking about the actual books you would read. And like every couple of chapters, you would see a picture of a Transformer, and they had these wild perspectives in it. So like it would be like an upshot, and you see his foot coming out at you. So it's very like strong force perspective. And what's up, past life? Good morning. What would end up happening is I would try to recreate that, and my brain could not process how vanishing points worked or any of that stuff. Now, mind you, my dad was an architect, so he was very aware of how to do these kind of things. So he would try to show me how to do it. But because I was a very impulsive, very not so patient child when I would draw, I couldn't really slow down long enough to um, learn that process. So it took a long time. In fact, um, I was I was probably in like college when I started going back to this because I would draw scenes, and there's one particular scene that I have. It's actually from one of my books that I worked on, like a comic book that I worked on. And I've probably drawn this scene for this book 3 or 4 times. And it's this guy looking over a hill or looking from the mountaintop down to a castle. Now, mind you, it's not a wide shot. It literally is. It's a portrait style image, but the guy is right here. So the guy is right up here, and the castle's here. And the perspective was breaking my brain. Like it hurt. I would get angry every time I drew it, but it just wasn't working. So I had to stop because it was destroying the work that I was doing. So eventually, when I got to college, I had a really good instructor. He, oops, he, he took the time to kind of explain what we need to do. And once he helped me understand where my mistakes were, everything fell in place. And I spent 6 months doing a perspective study and finally understood how to do perspective very well. So when you fall back into Transformers became much easier for me because now I understood how the shape play worked. Because Transformers literally are just blocks put together. If you really think about it, they really are. And then if you push that forward and you go into like drawing characters, whether it be a superhero or not, when you want to put them in perspective, you look at them. If you can get the construction of the shapes correct, then you just put the pretty on top, and you have a beautiful piece of artwork. It's all about the construction underneath. I had who was it? Kindle, one of my customers, the guy that got these. So when Kindle got this, he would. I mean, I wanted a specific shot, so I would draw here. So this would be my vanishing point would be way up here, and everything would cascade outward, kind of like if I was looking up to a building. So obviously, the stuff that's bigger, that's closer to me, would be much bigger, which is what I wanted. But he said like you literally just like threw down that transformer in no time at all, and it's because I understood the shapes, and that just takes time. I mean, you have to put time in order for this to work. And you'll know if it doesn't look right because the construction phase is very important. I relate it kind of like to a house. Could you just imagine if they just started throwing stuff up randomly? Oh, that looks good. That looks good. And then all of a sudden the house breaks down, you know, or it looks lopsided. I had a buddy of mine, and this is crazy, but I mean, because they didn't do the proper maintenance, or I shouldn't say maintenance, the proper construction from the get go. What's going on, Art? Um, they didn't do the proper maintenance for the house from the beginning. The found and for the foundation actually sunk in, and they lost their house behind that. So I, I know that's a different ball game, but in reality, the construction is extremely important. You have to have solid construction underneath all the way around. All right, he's looking good. I like him. That sounds horrible. Yeah, I got this stream going on for about 2 hours, and then I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do for tomorrow. That's my big problem for tomorrow. I only say that because there's a couple things I got to do. One, I'm going to sit down with my family, and we're going to do like this string art promo or demo, because I want to make sure that all ages can do it, because I want to advertise it for everybody, right? But if my sons and my son's girlfriend and my wife can't get onto it, then I got to figure out ways to go ahead and change that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean this is just the first one. Yeah, my comic book shop opens up in hour and a half. I was supposed to get the book yesterday, so I'm like, I need you to be open. But my comic shop was supposed to be open yesterday. And it's not his fault. Let me just preface that. Let me not put him under the bus. Yesterday, I was supposed to go to my comic book shop to go get the other Transformers book that was supposed to go with this, and I told him I would be there in 2 hours to go grab the book. Unfortunately, I have a cat that likes to piss on shit right now, so he's being a little asshole. Um, So I had to take him up to the vet, and the vet thing took a lot longer than anticipated. So that just did not work out. So today I'm going to go get the second book and put these two together and make some magic. And somebody's getting some beautiful stuff. Make sure I get this right because I don't want to mess this up. He's got a big old shoulder. But yeah, I got to get that done today. So I'm supposed to go to 11, but I might go until 10:30 only because I want to get up to the comic book shop, get in, get it out. Because I have no desire to like sit up there for a while. I need to get my stuff done. And then, we got life stuff to do. We got to go and take care of bathrooms and all that kind of fun stuff. Got a lot of stuff that requires work. Everybody that knows, when you have family and all that kind of stuff, you have a home, you got to take care of everything. You got to maintain the stuff that you have because if you don't, then you got a problem. All right. So on to other things. This morning, I just, you know how you go down a rabbit hole and you start watching certain things. So this morning, I got on TikTok and I saw something. I was like, "This is awesome." Um, I knew that this game was coming out. It's called Invincible Versus. I didn't do any research into it because I don't play games anymore. Other than literally playing Mario Kart, that's the only game I play with my wife. I don't play games because I just don't have time to sit down there and dedicate time to it. But I do enjoy like watching gameplay. And on this game, it was pretty cool because it's almost like it's like Street Fighter, but with invincible characters. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a couple Street Fighter characters pop up in it. I saw Sagat in there for sure. But being able to play as Invincible or Omni Man and all these characters, pretty cool to watch. I was like, man, if I have somebody that has a PlayStation 5, if I could just get like a couple minutes on that thing would be kind of cool. Holy shit, it's gonna be 90 something today in Florida. Whew, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Let's see, who do we got in here? Who is this? This is new. What's up, Ethan? I did not see you pop up in there. Let me go and just give you a follow there. And Path Life, I don't think I have you on my list, but I'm going to follow you as well. And I saw that you said good morning, so I apologize for not acknowledging you on that one, but good morning. And again, Kay, good morning to you too. Yeah, you know how that Florida life works. For me, I'm kind of getting used to it because it's crazy, but I go to the gym, and the first thing that I do is I go to the sauna. And the sauna, not only do I go to the sauna, I also go to the sauna and I put on a hoodie. So I'm supposed to be hot from the get go. All that heat kind of like loosens up all the stuff that my muscles don't feel as like stiff and everything. So for me, that's way better. I'm looking forward to the heat. It's different. It's weird how it works. So if I know that I'm going into a situation where it's hot, I don't get uncomfortable. But if, like, say for example, a building's AC unit goes out, that's horrible. Yeah, I mean, honestly, me going to the sauna is it relaxes the muscles before you go out there. And also, being in the hoodie, you don't have to worry about anybody looking at you or anything like that. They don't, they're not trying to size you up, and it's weird. I'm going to say this because people don't realize this. And this happens both female and male. I watch this all the time. But when you go to the gym, some dudes are looking at other dudes and they're like, "Oh man, let me see if I can outdo that guy," because they got those massive, weights and whatnot. Um, and the same thing with women, it happens as well. They're like, "Oh, she's doing like all these pull-ups. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that too." It's weird, but it does happen. Like they're all trying to one up. Heat when you know it's whatever. Yeah, the second you're somewhere where it's not normal hot. Yeah, it's completely it's that way. Like when I'll go here in Port St. Lucie, we have a Walmart, and inside, actually, yeah, this used to happen in the Walmart, but we'll go to the Walmart, and their AC seems like it's always broken. Same thing with the mall. Go to the Jensen Beach Mall. The you go inside and it feels like a damn furnace. That is uncomfortable. Oh man, where's my gummy eraser? You don't see it. Yeah, that's just uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be in that kind of mess. But like if again, like if I'm going to the gym, I've already got myself mentally ready to go. So um I don't even think about that stuff. I just go ahead and go in there. I have my hoodie on. I don't talk to anybody. I don't acknowledge many people at all. Not that I don't want to. It's just that, I'm in the gym. I don't have time to be dealing with that. I want to get my stuff done, get in, get out, be done. I have no desires to deal with anything else. What's up, Superman? Yeah, I'm very aware of like heat around me. My wife was a clutch hitter, and the fact that she ended up get that on TikTok they had those like high intensity fans, that just when they blow, it feels like you're literally getting hit with a real AC. It's that powerful. So a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago, she went and bought herself one. I'm like, oh, this thing is amazing. This is great. So we go out to Texas, and if you guys are not familiar with Texas weather, Texas can get pretty hot pretty fast. It's a dry heat, so it's a little different than ours. Ours is humid, so it's hot and it's moist, right? That's Florida. But when you go to Texas, it's almost suffocating to a certain degree. So when you go out there, if you're not careful, you can get dehydrated really fast and you can get overheated really fast. So we go out there, and my wife's like, "We're going to be doing some moving and all this kind of good stuff. Do you want me to get you one of these fans?" I got it. Best thing ever. Amazing. Put it around my neck. Had the thing just blowing on my neck. It was awesome. But yeah, definitely worth every penny. And she definitely knew what to do. So I got there, I think on a Thursday. No, let me take it back. We got there on a Sunday. It was in my hands by Sunday afternoon. It's great. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. That whole last trip. Oh my god, that was fucking horrible. So Nathan's one of my students. So I don't even know if I told him this story. Um, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say the story anyway. Thank you for the friend acknowledgement there, Path. So this is how the story goes. So back in March, I had an opportunity to go over to Texas, right? So I get to Texas, or sorry, no, I didn't even get to Texas. We leave, we're supposed to leave on Saturday evening, 10 o'clock, late flight, right? Now, you would think that going on a late flight would be the better move to do. which in reality, it does make sense because it's less traffic, there's less people. You get the option of, having less people on the plane, which is true. Okay, so let me preface this. I went ahead and we got tickets through Spirit. I don't have any issues with Spirit. I've flown with them many, many times. All these nightmare stories that people talk about, I haven't had it. I'm going to cross some fingers, knock on some wood. I haven't had that happen. So this was one of the rare times that this has ever happened. So we go there and we get to the terminal. Now, remember, I told you I'm not a big fan of heat when it comes to going into a place and not expecting that. So I get there and we have all this heat, and I see a ton of people, like a bunch of people. And my wife and I are looking at each other. We're like, "Oh, that's a lot." Typically, the terminal has enough people just for the plane that's coming in and for the flight that's going out. Right? That's usually, but this was way more people, a lot. So we get there. And we're like, okay, we have about 3 hours before our flight goes, so we are very much ahead of schedule, which I'm happy for. So we're listening on the comms, and they go, attention, attention, just letting you know, guys. We are waiting for a stewardess to get to the to arrive from another flight, and that's why your plane is delayed. It wasn't our flight; it was a flight going to another city. I think it's going somewhere up north. But the person that was supposed to be coming in was coming from a tropical country. I don't know which one it was. It was nowhere mainland. Let's just put it that way. So I was like, oh man, this is crazy. So in my head, I'm thinking that okay, they're on the way, like they are en route. Okay, so this is at all right. So our plane flight leaves at 10. So our so we're just sitting there, and I think around like 9 o'clock, this plane, or sorry, around 8 o'clock, this plane was supposed to leave, and we're sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and this plane never shows up. So close to 9 o'clock, the plane arrives with the stewardess. So she gets off the plane, she boards the other plane. Now, again, keep in mind, our plane is supposed to leave at 10 o'clock. Okay. We look on this flight finder and it says our plane has arrived on time. So our plane is physically there at the airport, not at the gate, but physically there at the airport. The plane that was supposed to be waiting for the stewardess never left the gate. Like it stayed there until the stewardess got there. So we're talking hours this plane was sitting there, and hours since our plane. Like our plane, I think landed at around like 8:30. So they're sitting there at a gate. Um, so we're sitting there. Okay, okay, they're going to go ahead and board these people and get them out of there. They did do that. Cool on them. However, there was a second flight that was flying out, and that flight was supposed to be leaving at I think 8:30. So they were already behind a flight, and at this point now they were behind two flights. It was about to be three with ours. So instead of boarding our plane, right, the flight that left, the second flight that was delayed, they boarded those people and got them out. And they didn't get them out of there until almost 10:30, right? 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so we didn't get onto our plane until almost damn near midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, because we had um, timing issues. Like you can only have a pilot on a plane for so long before they can't fly and all this kind of good stuff. And we had to deal with that mess because they had the switch crews and all this kind of good stuff. It was weird, but we were supposed to have a rental car. rental car place closed at 1:30 in Texas. And I looked at my wife, and I'm looking at my son, I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna make our car rental. So what does that mean? We literally have to get to the airport and we stay up. We stay awake until the airport until the place opens up so we can go ahead and, get our car. Sucked. We were up for over 24 hours waiting for plane flights, dealing with other stuff and all this kind of crap. So when we got to Texas, we had to wait like an hour and a half for the rental place to open up, maybe 2 hours. Then we had to um, drive another hour to get to where we need to go. It was just a lot of stuff. What's going on, Keith? Welcome. And we got DJ Jen. Welcome. The funny part to it all is, so we were like, hey, airport, we're gonna need you to take care of some stuff. I mean, you guys can um, compensate people, right? I mean, you're inconveniencing them by not having the services. I mean, not having the plane here, right? No, no, that's not how that works. This is the only part that I would say that Spirit dropped the ball on. So they were like, okay, well, in 3 hours, if your plane flight ends up having a 3 hour delay, which ours did, then you're automatically given a food voucher for your plane, or a food voucher, period. So we're like, okay, cool. We can just use that food voucher because we haven't had any food in a while. We're waiting here and all this bullshit, right? So we wait, and this is coming from the attendant, and they're like, "You'll get your food voucher and all this fun stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." No, that's not how that worked. They didn't give us any food voucher. They gave us a voucher so that way we could use it for a future flight. That's all they gave us. And I get it. I'm not bitching about it. I know that Spirit was having a hard time during that period of time as well. Because again, this is in March. So if anybody's not familiar with what happened in March, we had all those plane delays and we had all those TSA issues and all this stuff, and we're still dealing with it now. But during that time, they were dealing with that on top of, you know they're in a place where, money's tight, gas is expensive. Yeah, yeah, that's that flight. So um, March was not a fun time to go on a flight, but it's okay. I mean, again, one thing I will say about Spirit in this whole experience is that Spirit, the people were cool. There's nothing that I can say bad about it. I just think that any company that goes to a automated system, right, to deal with customer service issues, that's not the right way to go. I think you definitely need to have that human element there. That will kind of make things a little bit easier for people to deal with and digest. And I also think that some people could be a little more sympathetic to the issues that are going on. I know a lady there that did get the food voucher, and her daughter used that to go get, snacks when they were delayed getting to Florida. So I know that happens. And it's okay. I don't bitch at them, because at the end of the day, stuff happens. If I only have one bad experience with a company out of all the times that I've used them, I'm less likely to be like really mad at them. I really am. I say that now because I had a point in time when I lost my crap on a company years ago, and my wife was so like thrown by this. Like she's like, You're done with this place? Because I used to have like zero tolerance, especially when people like did me dirty. So have this place. It's called Roma's Pizza. It's probably one of my favorite pizza places to go to because it's not like a normal pizza place. It's like this old. Let me take it back. The person that used to run it, the old man that used to run this place, awesome. He's like one of these old school Italian guys, and he used to run that place, and it was fantastic. Like the food was top notch. The people were amazing. It was just it had this very cool I would say old Italian, more like a New York Italian vibe to it. So I was very happy with the service. The food was delicious, all that fun stuff. So one day I called them up and they they answer. Um, I think I might have gotten hung up on the first time. Then I get my food and my food is completely wrong. And I was pissed at this point because they were the customer service was like horrible at that point in time, and the food was completely just wrong and bad. And so when they dropped off my food, I told my wife, I was like, I will never order from them again. They are horrible. This is bad. So my wife, as calm as a cucumber, because usually she's the one when people mess up food, she's the one that gets upset. But she knew that this is a problem because I don't get upset about a lot of stuff, especially about food. I don't usually do that. It's just one of those things that this one just really got me because I'm like, these people are really good. They really messed up. The customer service is horrible. Like the whole experience just turned me off. So I ended up, I didn't deal with it, and I didn't even eat the food. Um, so my wife calls back up, tells them the situation, gets a chance to talk with one of the co-owners, and the co-owner is explaining that the people that were there, the owners, just got back from a funeral and they had lost one of their close family members. I don't know who it was, but it was somebody that was close to the family. Um, and everything was off. Like they literally just got back from that family issue. And again, I didn't know anything about this. Of course, why am I going to know about this? I'm a customer. Um, but at the same time, I'm like, I am done. I don't want to deal with this place anymore. So my wife, after talking with these people, because I was just zero tolerance at this point, um, my wife ends up talking to him, tells him the whole thing, and the person's like, I am so sorry. I really am. This is what's going on. The family's just not in the right headspace and all this kind of good stuff. Um, would you be willing to let us make this right? Well, it's like, sure. Yeah. What do you guys want to do? It goes like, all right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get your name. We're going to put it in the system. And the next time that you guys order, your meal is on us. And I, at that point, just didn't care. So I was like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna hold them to it because I was done. So a couple months go by. My wife's like, "Hey, you want to go and order from Roma's?" I'm like, "I guess so. Let's go ahead and just order some food." So she calls up. Um, the lady that had taken our information from earlier, she was like, "Yeah, I remember you guys. You guys used to order from us all the time, and I know that we had a little hiccup a couple months ago. You guys ready to go and do that order?" And we did our order, and the lady's like, "You're not going to owe us anything. Just let me know where we're going to send it to, and we got this." They made good for it because at the end of the day, they knew that they needed to take care of their customers because that's where their bread and butter was. If you don't take care of your customers, then they're not going to be happy with you, and they will not be loyal. And loyalty is what's important, for a lot of these companies. And because it's literally a staple of Port St. Lucie. Like they've been around for multiple years. They have two locations. One's owned by one family member, another one's owned by another. they they were a staple. And because we fixed that issue, we ended up using them for our wedding because they do make good food. At the end of the day, that was my thing. I just wanted good food, and when you mess with my food, it's not cool. Yeah, I'm all about the customer service is very important to me. Very, very important. Um, so the name of the place is called Roma's Pizza. So if you're ever in Port St. Lucie, Nathan, it is off of this road called Morningside. It sits in a little plaza next, or just say just south of a golf course. Like there's a PGA rated golf course here in Port St. Lucie, and they're not too far away from that. There are two. There's Bella Romas, but the Romas is the one that's in further is deeper in Port St. Lucie. Definitely good. I agree. I'm personally, Kendall. My thing is that I'm loyal to people's businesses that do good quality food. Like I like good food. We have a place here, and Brazilian markets are not something that are here in my area. But there's a lady that again came from New York. Her and her husband built this place called Val's, and this lady's she's a ex she was a chef on Top Chef, so she knows what she's doing. Like she's got skills. So you get this very calm and very just inviting environment, and the food is insane. Like I've gotten to the point where I can't do the buffet anymore because I can't eat enough of the food to make it worth my while. It's that good. Yeah, I prefer not to have monopolies. I don't. My thing is that I'm not a big fan of like chain restaurants. There's some chain restaurants that are good, but for the majority of them, they're not really that good. We have this restaurant called Cheddar's here, and we first went to our Cheddar's. The first two experiences were really good. Service was really fantastic. The food was really good, and now it's all this generic crap that they make. We got chicken fingers, we got pastas. The only things that have been really on point every time have been their rolls. That's it. Like they have these like almost they're like air kind of rolls, so butter rolls that you get. Those are the only things that have been consistent, but everything else is just like, eh. There is one benefit to the area that I live in because it's in South Florida, but they a lot of people from up north and some people from the south are coming into our area. I think it's great for like the food culture. I love that. I'm not really big into the economical boom that it's doing, like as far as like housing, but as far as like food and how you present products and stuff like that, that's very important to me. There's a guy, his name, he runs this business called Kyle G's, and all of his businesses are very good. Each one of the businesses, they're all related, they're all restaurants, but at the end of the day, it's all about quality food and quality experience. So they have like Vine and Barley. That one is more like what can I kind of relate that to? It's kind of like a almost has almost like a speakeasy kind of feel to it, but it's a restaurant. a lot more like chickens and stuff like that, that kind of style of food. Whereas when you go to this Italian restaurant, you have now, of course, you have your spaghettis and all that, but you have like lobster, bisque, and all that kind of good stuff. It's really, really good. Um, he's got a seafood one, that kind of stuff. Regenerative, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I was gonna start working on that Deadpool today, but I will probably have to push that back just a little bit. I have to get this done today. I have two covers I'm working on, but I did get the mock-up done for it, so I feel good about that. So the Deadpool will go pretty fast. Yep, he looks good. That's gonna look really good. And then you have Shockwave or Blaster on the other side. It'd be really cool. It is going really good. This is for a gentleman. His name is Mike. He ordered this actually a year ago. I did one. I hated it. So I ended up updating his stuff and I'm giving him something a little bit better because he's had to wait so long. So he was only supposed to get one cover, but I'm going to make it a two cover spread. The original one was actually front and back, but this one now he gets two comics and they'll look good on display. Hey, look, my thing is, and I was just saying it about like customer service. I'm going to make good on things if I don't do right by you the first go around. I'm going to definitely make it worth your while, so that way you know that if I mess up, I'm going to make good on my mess up. Again, I want anybody that gets something from me when they pull it out of their collection, even if it's not on display. I want them to be proud of what they purchased. And even if they don't look at it on a regular, they can come back to it and be like, wow, I forgot I bought that. I really did forget I bought that. Yeah, I feel like, you guys, anybody, not just yourself, but anybody that buys anything from us, that's how you should always do it. You should always be thinking of that. You can't give people half-ass work. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. It's not cool. I think I'm good. That looks really, really good. I'm happy. I wish I could go harder on this thing. I can't do anything more other than just get color on it. And I can't do color until I get the other piece because I got to get the arm done. But you know what I can do? I can do this piece down here. But I need a straight edge. Where's it from a straight edge? Put it around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. No, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use something else. We're going to use this straight edge. And then we'll make a box, and then that's where Soundwave, or not Soundwave, that's where Blaster's face will go. Actually, we'll do it this way because then I got more room. All right. Why do we draw it all the way across? Well, that way I can tell the difference between the line that I made versus the one that is um, versus the one that I really need. So what is this down here? My whole initial idea, my first idea was just I want to do a battle scene. But as I went ahead and started really thinking about how to pull this off, I wanted it to be more like a Street Fighter scene. You know how in Street Fighter they have, the power meters and all that stuff? That's what I wanted to do. So that's my thought process behind this one. So I have my power meter down here. It's going to look really cool. So that power meter will go all the way to here. Again, you always got to think outside the box. You can't be doing everything that everybody else does. Then it gets really generic. I don't want to be generic. I like my stuff looking cool. I wish I could show you guys the stuff that I did for custom, but all the custom stuff is ready to go. But on customs pieces, and you guys will probably see it when he gets his box. I think it'll be there on Tuesday. So I think he'll have his show, and I think it'll be with him on Tuesday. Um, so when he opens it up, on the back of every book, like on the rear of every book, there's going to be a piece of artwork on the back. I can't tell you what's on the back. It's a little something on the back. It's really cool. So I'm very happy about that. So that'll be a little surprise. Like nobody on there, uh, not even custom knows what the pieces are. He's going to get surprised when he gets them too. Yeah, I wanted to make it a little surprise, and then oh, speaking of which, real quick before I go ahead and go to my next thought, um, Regen, you are part of this whole deal because you got a purchase from me. You get a free sketch card. What character, or not what character? What category would you like to pick? Do you want to do like anime? Do you want to do DC, wrestling? Um, what else do I have available? I have anime. Write these down so that way I know which ones they are. So these are your choices. You have anime, movies, DC, image, cartoons, movies, wrestlers. Okay, wrestlers. All right, let me make sure I got my 9. 7. What other one do I have? 8 and 9. Let's see. I can't remember the other 2. Cartoons, anime. Um, Hang on. Let me grab my list real quick because I don't remember the other ones. Tell you exactly what the other ones are. Okay, so Marvel. Cartoons, Marvel. Where's the other ones? I know I have them. Oh, video games. Ah, and this is the last one. I knew there was another one. Okay, so Regen, those are your 9 categories that you can choose from. You have to pick one, and you're going to get a random card to go with that, with your purchase. Well, thank you. I try to have a nice bit of handwriting. That's what I get for, all those times when I was not listening in class and had to write all those sentences. I was that kid. What's going on, free? Yeah, so that's I got in trouble for doing all that stuff in class. That was my penance. I would have to learn how to write really well. And if I didn't write it correctly, my teachers made me rewrite it again. That's why penmanship is one of my biggest hangups. If you don't have good penmanship, uh, you better go type it out. My teacher would be like, "You write so nice." Like, I know I have to because I can't read my own shit if I don't write it nice and slow it down. Yeah, I think the biggest hiccup everybody used to give me, especially when we used to write notes, they'd be like, "You write like a girl does." I'm like, "Stop, whatever." I think your problem is that you can't read your own handwriting, so you just want to go ahead and you know talk crap on me. That's why you always ask me for my notes. um, Gabe, Gabriel, I would say this. You know how I was talking about the change yesterday and making them very organic. When it comes to the Transformers, I want them to feel like they are real. How you doing, Beyond? Good morning. I want them to feel like they're real, but I also want to make them feel like they're a force. And if you don't make them big, then it doesn't work. The one thing I definitely want to do, because I have to do a lot of these Transformers for my series, but I want to do a coloring book of just nothing but Transformers and not little cards, but bigger ones. I want to do a Devastator. I My biggest one that I wanted to do for years is I want to draw a Unicron. I've never been able to draw Unicron as a whole. Every Unicron that I've drawn over the years has been kind of horrible, and I really want to draw him. He's on my bucket list of all time characters I want to draw. If anybody, well, anybody that's on here, I'm pretty sure you know about the Transformers movie. This was a commission. Yeah, this is part of a. This was only supposed to be one cover, but it's supposed to wrap around. I did one of these before, and I hated it. So I did not end up giving it to the client. So I'm redoing it, and I'm doing it better. I'm trying to see if I have a copy of that picture on here so you guys can see it. My thing is if you're going to give somebody something, you give them something good. Don't half don't half it. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Where is it? It's in my photos. I know I have that in here. Where are you? It's a long time ago that I did this. This would have been back. I think this is back when I first started. So it would have been in June. Man, I'm almost up to my year. I might have to do an anniversary show. Holy crap, it's been a year of streaming? That is nuts. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do an anniversary show. For sure. Sorry, I'm trying to find this picture. It's in here. It's in here. All right, so it's not that one. It's too far back. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So this is the picture that I initially did. Okay. So this is what the 2-page spread looked like. Now I wanted to do this like forced perspective where, Blaster was right here, but I didn't like what was going on. It looked very cartoony. You can see like right here where he punches into the guy's chest. It didn't work. There are things like as far as like the whole idea of it, the thought behind it is really good, but the execution of it was not as good. So I didn't want to, have it be not that good. To answer that question, Gabe, I believe my first show. Let me go back here and I'll tell you exactly. Where are you? Where are you? Not now. And shows. Yeah, I gotta go all the way back. This is way back here. So my first show was January 4th. I'm sorry, June 4th. So I have to do an anniversary show. It's gonna have to happen. 1 year in June. So I'm literally a month away from hitting a year. A year has passed by so fast. And I got to kind of take a look at how many shows that I've done too, because I'm going to do a show, like I'm going to do like a really discounted show for my when I hit 50 books. So whoever gets the 50th book that I do, and I'm getting really close. I think the last time I checked, I was at like 40 or 42 books that I've done so far, and that's just in this year. Um, so once I get to that 50th book, somebody's going to get a hell of a hookup for that one. I'm going to make it worth their while. But definitely going to do that anniversary show for sure. This was only like I first started this. It was only I was going to give it 3 months, and if it didn't perform in 3 months, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I am not doing this. But honestly, it shifted. There's a very big shift. So if anybody on here is like spiritually based, you'll understand what this is. But when you know there's a shift, you know you're supposed to be in the right spot, and you just don't move. And I didn't move. I was just like, I'm enjoying this. It stopped being a thing where it was, hey, we got to get this money, 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 money. Right? That's where it first initially was going. And when I wasn't seeing people pop up online, like I would look at my counts and I wouldn't see people, in the stream, and I'd get like frustrated. My wife would be like, "Hey, how many people did you have?" I was like, "I had about two people consistently throughout the entire show." She'd be like, "That's good, that's good, that's good." And other nights I'd be like, "Nobody showed up," and I'd be kind of like discouraged. But that wasn't for me. I mean, the whole thing was is when I got on here, it's like meeting people like yourself, Gabriel. It's like meeting people like Kay and other people. Um, oh, oh, hey, Gabriel, hang on one second. Let me finish my thought real fast. Um, so the I ended up just taking it and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go. And I started just meeting people online. It was just fun. It stopped being about business. It was just fun. Now, Gabriel, if you are saying what you said about the Darth Maul, you and I are gonna probably have to talk because I want that Darth Maul. Not the one that you sold because I know that's already sold, but I want one exactly like that. And I'm 100% down to do a trade for that. That card is probably my favorite piece of artwork that you have done this entire time you've been on here. So, are we doing a trade for like this character, or you got to tell me how we're doing this? Are we doing it for just this one book, or are we going to do it for, a picture? How do you want to do it? This is gonna be a hell of a trade, man. I am you just Gabriel, you just made my day. See again, this is why I love to do this stuff because then I get to go ahead and get some dope art from some amazing people. And I don't get a lot of art from people. So for me, I find it like an honor to get your artwork. Okay, well you do your magic on that and then you let me know, do you want me to do this as like a bigger size piece instead of the two books or just the one blaster character? Oh my god, dude. Dude, you're about to make me super happy. You've made my day. I'm going to say that right now, Gabriel. You've made my day. Like that. Darth Maul is like Darth Maul is like my favorite character in Star Wars, and not a lot of people can depict him really well. I've only seen, I think, two or three people on here that have really done it in a way where I'm like, oh, I want to pull the trigger on it, but I can't afford that right now. All right, but I'm going to have to set the bar high that you topped on your last sketch card. Okay, okay. All right, we're going to put some battle damage on here. Yeah, my sketch cards have changed a little bit. That's because I mean, I honestly I was like I've gotten a lot of advice from people on here, and they were like, "You're pricing your stuff way too low." And again, when I came in here, I wasn't coming in here for like all this money, but that was the kind of thing. And I expect nothing less from you when you go ahead and do your work. Oh, Gabriel, we're still doing our show on Friday, right? Thank you. Yeah, I go get the other cover today. So I'm going to do the other cover. It'll sit on this side right here. And I don't know if you saw the mock up, but this is like the mock up for this one. So when I leave, I'm going to be getting off here in like 15 minutes. This is the mock up. Oh, wow, I'm going the wrong way. Let's go this way. Okay, here we go. So this is the mock up for that piece. So that's what that's supposed to look. So I get it up there. That's the mock up. So I got to put in Soundwave right here. It'll be fun to see all those characters come together. I think he's really getting a good deal. Oh, 15, because I have to leave. I'm trying to get to my comic book shop literally as they open at 11 o'clock. I got to get in and got to get out to get my stuff and go. Sometimes I love my comic book guy. I think John is awesome, but this is one of those days I can't sit around. I have to get up and get going. They brought it back this month. Did you see the 5 Transformer sketch covers that puzzle up? No, I did not. I'll have to take a look at that online. Oh, okay, thanks, Kendall. Um, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm getting a Transformers 31, and that's the one that's going on here. So you got a Rivals Transformers book, and then you'll have a regular Transformers book. So you got the two, and when he looks at it and be like, "Damn, this looks good," and I'm like, "I know," because I love these books. I love drawing Transformers. So you're getting good stuff. In fact, what I got to do is before I go ahead and give this to the gentleman, I have to make sure I get a picture of it. Yes, send me that cover. I would love that. I'll go ahead and do that. Do you want it on that cover? And do you want me to wrap it around? I love doing wraparound covers. Oh, no, 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 no. I was talking about like the I was talking about the this cover. Like I was talking about your Transformers cover, not the mall, not the mall. Okay, I got you. Which Transformer do you want on the front? The same one? Because if you want a different Transformer, I can hook that up too. Perfect. I think, let's see, we're going to keep the power meter. I think we'll cut the power meter off right there because I'm going to frame your sketch card with the sketch cover. Ooh, ooh, it's going to look so good. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to talk to you. I have to talk to Art with Rob. I'm going to probably see if there's a couple other artists that I really want to grab because I have an idea. I have a really good idea, and I think it's going to work out well because I'm pretty sure a lot of people on here might want this. So I'm going to put it out there for all you guys. I'm going to put it out into the ether. So my idea is to do a card series, a playing card series specifically, where it's playing cards, but it has artwork from numerous artists. So each artist would get a suit, and each artist has to draw artwork that'll go for there, and then I'll probably render out all the colors so everything looks consistent, but the artwork will be all by these individual artists. No, I did not. So I'll have to jump on there today and do that if they still have openings. So let me put that on my notes. Thank you very much, Kendall. Your stuff, just so you know, Kendall, I was telling who was it? I was telling Ant earlier yesterday because I was working on some other books and whatnot, including yours. I didn't get a chance to go to the post office. Plus, I had a cat appointment and all that kind of good stuff, a vet appointment. So as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna go drop off your stuff. It'll probably be maybe Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. You'll get those cards in, and then um, I have, like I said, I have Dirtbag is ready to go as far as like the sketch. This was what I was going to work on this morning, but I had to get this cover done. So you can get like a little preview of what you're going to get. So this, whoops, what is this mess? Hang on one second. There we go. So this is wrong picture. This is what one of your guys is gonna look like. That guy right there. So that's gonna be cool. He's got the little bull gun and everything. Yeah, it's gonna look great. I'm not gonna lie, Kendall. This whole set, I'm going to I'm going to post them up because I want to see what they all look like together. And somehow I'm going to get them all photographed really, really well, put them all together, and I want to do a collage of it because this is probably one of my favorite sets since I've done the turtles back for my son. And I think because you've been such a cool dude, I think I'm going to add something to your stuff. I'm not going to tell you what, but I'm going to add something to yours because you've done so good by me. I really want to kind of like put a stamp on the rest of this. I'm going to make it really, really cool for you. All right, so let's get that on there. Yeah, I think we're going to definitely give you something good. I think this is probably, like I said, this is probably my favorite collection. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I think between you and Custom, now Custom had just like random different little things that he gave me, and we're gonna do more of those. But as far as like a collection, this is my favorite. And I'm a kid of the '90s, so for me, well, not night. Well, I'm a kid from the '80s and the '90s, so those things are definitely important to me. And I get to draw all my favorite characters. It's gonna be great. So just keep me on your radar for tomorrow, guys. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics for my show for tomorrow. So if anybody wants to join in, I'm going to be doing a free comic book day show. Just trying to figure out what time I'm going to do it because typically I don't do shows on the weekends because it's like family time. But I love free comic book day. So everybody's got like their Christmas or their Super Bowl. That is my day. That's the one day of the year where I'm like, it's like the start of my drawing season, or at least it used to be, because I would do like 24 to 30 drawings in one sit down. It was that intense. But because you know it didn't happen this year, I don't get a chance to do that. And it's no fault of my shops. I just want everybody to know that my shops are really awesome. They're super supportive. Um, they're just things that are out of their control. What's up, Manny? Good morning. And you can't fault them for that. They do the best they can, and all my shops definitely take care of me. So if you guys are looking for books, go to Famous Faces and Funnies. They're based out of Florida, in Melbourne, Florida, just like the country, or sorry, the city. And then we also have um, Berserk Comics. And then I also have Big Dog Comics. Those are my three shops. Okay. So we're looking good. Cool. If you wanted to preview what comic book covers were coming out for Free Comic Book Day, what website would you go to? I think it's not through Diamond. Let me see what website. I can't remember what it is. Usually, what they'll do is they'll put them on online. Actually, if you go to freecomicbookday.com, all the books are there right now. I'm getting the Street Fighter book because it's got one of my favorite artists. His name's Mike Bowden or Bowden, and he's doing a great book on that one. But books that are coming out, one's called Ablaze, another one is called The Great American Hero, or yeah, The Great American Hero. They have an Archie comic book. They have preview of the Ultimate Oz Universe 2. They have Aquaman, an Aquaman book. They have DC X Sonic, DC Next Level Sampler, which is where they just show you a bunch of different little books. They have The Nice House on the Lake, Stitch #1, Supernatural #1, uh, Energon Universe. This is Free Comic Book Day special. I would definitely tell you, get that book because this is how they did when they first introduced Transformers. There was a short Transformer story that happened before the actual books came out. Get this book. Um, they have Spotlight 2026, again, another book that spotlights all the books that are coming out of Keen Spot Entertainment. Keen Spot Entertainment, I'm not familiar with them, but they also have a toy book that they're going to come out with. There's a Flash Gordon book, Terabytes by Mad Cave Studios. Omni Press will have a book called Fort Psychic. Let's see here. The Future Is, that's another company book. They have Titan Comics is doing Conan the Barbarian. Titan Comics is also doing Gun Honey Doubles Down #0. Udon Comics is doing Mega Man Showdown Special #1. Udon's also doing the Street Fighter book. Manga Classics. Vault Comics is also doing Dungeon Crawler Carl. And Vault Comics is also doing Inanin, The Name She Lost #1. So definitely check out all those books. No, no, no. Just so you know, Gabriel, the book that I'm talking about for the Transformers one. So when they started out Transformers, this new one that they came out with, let me show you Transformers. And this is the book that came out 2 years ago. Transformers. I think it's by Daryl Warren. Put a comma there, not a Daryl Warren Johnson. That's it. So this book. So when they came out with this book right here, so this came out I think about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years now. Um, so when they came out with this, they before this came out on Free Comic Book Day, there was a book that introduced this. So that's what I'm saying. On Free Comic Book Day, it's good always to get in there and grab those books because they are some books that are collectibles. Um, this is I'll give you another example. And I didn't know about this until a friend of mine told me about this. and I got the book. I just didn't know what it was. Okay, so this book right here. So this is The Blackest Night. This came out multiple years ago, probably like 10 years ago, maybe 12. So this book came out. It's The Blackest Night. It's basically The Blackest Night Zero. And this introduced a storyline that got us to the New 52. So that's why I say going to Free Comic Book Day, you get introduced to books that you might not have been familiar with at all. They usually will do like intros for new books as well. All right. Just not Ash concise. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I honestly, if they were ever to make another book that size, that would be ridiculous. I would love it. They haven't had books that large since I was a kid. I would love to have books that are original art book size. Todd McFarlane does his remastered books, like when he shows like the behind the scenes. Yeah, the artist editions, those are phenomenal. I'm waiting to see when I can go and get my hands on the what is it, the Danger Girl one. I'm hoping that somebody will have it in their stash so I can go ahead and go buy it because I didn't catch it on the Kickstarter. Not that I've seen. No, they have omnibuses of the Transformers, but they don't. I've never seen an artist edition. I mean, could you just imagine the artwork from that stuff? That would be incredible. All right. So that is my stopping point, guys. So this is what I'm going to do. Gabe, I'm going to reach out to you. DWI need to do that. Yes, they do, but it would be insanely pricey. Somebody would have to find those archive pages, and I don't know if Marvel's willing to get rid of those. All right, so Kendall, I will get working on your stuff ASAP, and like I said, the two other books should be here hopefully by Monday, so I can get those done, and then I have um, who is it? Um, Regenerative. If you're still on, I have your books I'm going to take care of, and we'll get you going on this one here, Gabriel. I'm going to the comic book store anyway, so if they have another Transformers book, I'm just going to buy it today. I'm getting at least one, but I'll go ahead and get another one if you want to do that, and that way you can have yours. Do you still want to have Blaster on the front of your cover, or do you want somebody else? Okay, yeah. If you want to send that to me, that's fine. Look, I'm going to buy it regardless because I need. Honestly, it doesn't hurt to have an extra one. Um, just trying to think if there's anything else I need to cover. Again, keep an eye out online because I'll probably post. I'll share the the stream if I do it tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to. I just got to kind of coordinate my time so that way, I can have a couple hours. I don't want to just do an hour show. I want to do a couple hours. So that's my hope. All right. Well, guys, have yourselves a very blessed and very great Friday. Be productive, do all those fun things, and I will catch you on the next show. Let's see who's on today. Oh, nobody I knew. Oh, we'll just go ahead and end the show. Thank you, sir.